Okay, Spoken World Online, week number 116. Here we are in June 2022. I'm going to start with three short little pieces. These are all untitled, and these are all by Gregory Corso. I feel there is an inherent ignorance in me, deep in my being, to the very core. I know its presence by an unforgettable smell, first experienced in childhood. It is like no scent I know. The closest I can come to describing it would be a nose clogged with blood, mixed with the smell of an old man's belongings. Here's the second one. The grass was written the same time I wrote green and snake. And the third, I saw an angel today without wings, with human smile and nothing to say. And so now I want to read you a couple more sections from my grand New York poem, which is still being worked on. But here's a couple more sections from it. Roarshock on Long Island. Another train ride on Long Island Railroad, all the way to Babylon. Rusty Rose waiting, jumping in excitement with handwritten sign, "Welcome, Roarshock." Therese drives us in her car exploring Long Island, watching the ships lined on the horizon. At Fire Island, for the first time, I approach the Atlantic Ocean, dip my hands in the icy water. Rusty tells me to gather up some shells. We ride on through the little towns. Rusty points out an old church as we drive past. That's the church I used to go to with Kurt Vonnegut. Enjoy lunch at Love Lane Kitchen. Therese takes us next to visit friends, the twins, Jay and Jay, one a painter, the other a playwright and astrologer. We have coffee and biscotti. We discuss many things. Rusty feels someone else in the big living room, somebody named Joseph B., who has something to say to the Jays. She does not know what it is. Jay the painter tells of a site unearthed in some far-off land, at least 10,000 years old, of apparent religious significance, suggesting the human search for existential meaning is older than agriculture. We talk about the war in Ukraine. Jay, the astrologer, had done a horoscope of Vladimir Putin, the most oblique chart he had ever seen, except for the collective horoscope of the Chinese Communist Party. According to Jay, Putin has sown the seeds of his own doom, but how many others will he take with him? I'm the only one here who is not Catholic. These people are all sincerely Catholic, wanting to do God's work on earth. They discuss Therese's good works, helping AIDS patients when that plague struck and was not understood. Rusty tells the real story of Stonewall when she was one of the few under siege with police inside the bar and the riot raged outside, and of revisionist history of the event and the era ever since. Back to Therese's house and Italian takeout for dinner with her daughter and son-in-law. Then they drive me back to the Babylon train station, and I ride back to Penn Station. And then that second section is called Treasure Room. More days exploring the streets, riding bus routes, Chinatown, Little Italy, walk across the Brooklyn Bridge, Saturday night in the East Village. Before that, the Treasures Room at the New York Public Library. Handwritten notes of George Washington and Thomas Jefferson, Shakespeare's first folio, a first printing King James Bible, Kerouac's original cover art for On the Road, and greatest treasures of all, Winnie the Pooh and Friends. It gets quiet around their display. I look deep into Pooh Bear's eyes. It is a moving excursion deep into imagination and personal history. I hear the famous bear speaking in my head. Say hello to David Bear. I read poetry via internet from my room at St. James, Angora Poets World Cafe, Spoken World Online, Sacred Grounds from San Francisco, where I win a fabulous door prize and pick next week's theme, the Akashic Records. Thanks for listening.